how do you ever show up on time?
Yeah, I do.
Did you show up on time when your kids were being born?
So what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Athletic Aesthetic Podcast. My name is Vinny. I'm your host. Today I have Tre Tipton back with me. If you watched the previous episode leading up to our event at Stage AE, this will be a follow-up of that. So really excited. We've done some really dope stuff in the last couple weeks together. The event was crazy. We'll get into that. We'll talk a little bit about, just some things we're excited about moving forward, talk about maybe Exhibit 2, and just, some of the takeaways from the past 2-3 weeks here, post-show. And so hope that you guys are watching. Hope that you enjoy this conversation. I'm really excited to have Tre back. Tre has just a really unique, mindset and just the way that he looks at life. And so just hearing, what his takeaways from the event were and, how they line up with mine and what I'm excited about moving forward. I'm really pumped about this episode. I think it was a great conversation. And I hope that you enjoy. So if you're watching this, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Check this out on Instagram at VC2Art and on whatever platform you're on. Make sure that you're subscribing because we have a ton of really cool things coming up with this show. So without further ado, I'll give you episode 14 of the Athletic Aesthetic Podcast. Let's get it. When I stopped doing it, but it was all for a good reason. It was to like get it to where it's at now and like have the the momentum that with the show and all that kind of coming in. So it wasn't like I was just like I'm just gonna be lazy.
Bro, you got extreme momentum. Like I feel like sometimes we don't realize on how much we really do because we're always chasing something.
Yeah.
Like think about what you've done in the past couple months. You've done some shit now.
Bro, it's been crazy. Like I honestly, like, I don't know how half the stuff happened. I don't know how half the connections happened. I don't know how, all the pieces kind of like came together. Right. But it's weird. I've have to like age myself, but I've always thought like 30 I would get my shit together. So I'm 31 now, and I think things are starting to click a little bit. Right. People are starting to like. The reason I wanted to start a podcast wasn't really because I thought I was the best podcaster, right, or that I had like the most unique opinions or, whatever. It was mostly just the fact that I knew I had a community online of people and locally, like in person as well. But like just from playing football and, creating art, working with some guys from professional teams and college teams. And I have this community that I feel like they like all watch each other from a distance. Right. And I feel like the podcast is a good way to kind of bring those people together. And yeah, just kind of like have like a main place where we can talk, share ideas, talk about cool things going on, share some cool uniform designs, talk about people's stories, tell the story, right, all kinds of stuff. So, and that's what morphed into the exhibit. And so if you guys have been watching this, maybe you watched our last episode we did together leading up to the exhibit. Yes. And I think you gave a great elevator pitch as to why they should come. So maybe we should start with an elevator pitch here. What did they miss if they didn't go?
If you didn't go, you missed too much, man. It's hard to really put it all into words. But everything that we were able to do, the people that we were working with, the money that we were able to donate to Steel City Impact, it was a different type of adventure, as I like to say. And the reason why I say adventure over an event is because we didn't know what was going to happen, man. We ain't have any experience with this such a big venue, right? Yeah. But it turned out so perfect, right? Yeah. We were on stage. We had a little show, a little slight podcast to the actual exhibition. So it was memorable, man. It was something that I personally will keep in my memory bank forever. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
And your art, bro, was crazy. Like I'm looking at it, I had a double take. I was like, did he just copy and paste that?
A couple people there, they were like either commenting online or whatever. They'll be like, so I don't understand what's so special about someone printing a photo on a canvas and like putting some like additional brushstrokes over it to call it a painting. And I'm like, dude, I start with a white canvas. Like there's no printing of a photo. And I don't know if that's like a good thing or not, but like it was interesting to see people's response to the paintings. Dude, the installation was nuts.
Nuts.
Zed's Bald Boy.
Shout out to Zed's and Bald Boy
crew. I mean, they really pulled that thing together. I remember like I had the initial vision for it after we toured Stage A. Like when we toured Stage A, I didn't have the vision for what the installation would be. We were initially thinking it could be like almost like a sculpture that you'd walk around that was made up of old and repurposed football equipment. And we were going to like kind of do that. And then for some reason, like I had remembered the initial photo shoot that we did for this podcast was at Clay and Cole at the Hounds in their house. They had like this kind of setup with like this old vintage TV, you know, old Pittsburgh carpet type feel. I think it was just Cole's bedroom, but like it was like they like leaned the bed up against the wall to like create space. And we did the initial photo shoot in there, and I loved the way that looked. And that vibe. And then like that's something that the Hounds are really good at, is like, you know, creating an aesthetic. And you know, so that sparked the idea of, hey, let's create like a vintage Pittsburgh basement in the center of Stage AE. When I pitched that idea to Zeds and Bald Boy, they're both named Zach, so that's why I'm calling them by their business name.
Respectful.
But you know, they like, it was like everyone standing there at the moment was like, that's the idea. Like, let's do it. So I kind of defaulted to them though to bring it to life, which is really hard as a creative, especially with doing like your first event, being like, all right, I'm just going to let you guys, I'm going to trust you to do it. But they knocked it out of the park and then some, dude. I don't know what your experience was with it.
Man, I was sitting there taking pictures. I was feeling myself. I got a couple good pictures I ain't even post yet. They're coming soon, though. Don't worry. But nah, man, I had a great time, man. Even that exhibit specifically, like my boy Zay was like, yo, like that's different. Like you don't see that at events. You don't see certain things that we were doing at shows, right? We almost gave them two things at once in one show. Right. And I thought that was probably the coolest thing that I experienced.
Yeah, DJ was amazing. Ari Cole came out and you know, did his thing there. Dude, he's really known in the city for, you know, his mixes and just showing up and doing a great job. And I mean, everyone I talked to there was like, DJ was on point. Like you know, we gave away, was it almost $2,000 or $1,000, $2,000 worth of free drinks. I'm saying
free drinks,
like up front. Like the party was good, the music was good, the art was good, the installation, everything. I mean, I know it's my event, so I'm like maybe biased as to like.
But it was jumping, man.
I thought it was good, man.
Jumping. I say this though, yo, you did your thing. Like, you was a little bit nervous at first, bro, but you did it smooth, bro. So like, if that's you nervous, I'm interested to see what you're like comfortable, right? Like, because that was a smooth event, man.
So, dude, I went off so like we did our intro and then we called up Steel City Impact. So if you're listening, Steel City Impact is the nonprofit that we donated money to. Based off the ticket sales and raffle sales, which we haven't. I don't know if we've officially announced the amount, but we raised a decent amount, and we're gonna share that here shortly. I think we're gonna maybe buy a big check or something and give it to them.
Do something cool.
But the money's already donated. They already are aware of it, but we haven't shared it with the public yet. But yeah, so we did some like really great stuff. We invited them up on the stage and we did our intro. I like kind of gave them the seats and I was like, I don't know if I have enough time, but I felt the nerves in the intro and I felt like kind of like this anxious energy. So I ran to the back, grabbed a beer, came to the side of the stage. I was like, I just need to like, I don't know, loosen up a little bit. And I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough time to like take a sip of this. You guys were up there for a solid 10 minutes. So I had like chugged a beer in the amount of time that I went off the stage and came back. That was like the first thing I drank all night or like ate really. I didn't even eat before the event.
Man, it was different, bro. You can see it on you, bro.
Bro, I was everywhere. Actually, like I felt like it was like a wedding day where I was like trying to say hi and like thank you to everybody for coming because it was one of those things where like everyone there in that room, we're not big enough to the point where like people are just buying tickets just to buy them. Like, I mean, there were definitely some people there that they were like, yo, I just saw this. I don't mean to say that. What I mean is like 1 degree of separation from everyone in that room. It was like, oh, you know this person. Oh, you know this person. So it was like, I felt like I want to say hi and thank you for coming to every single person individually, not just from the stage. So I felt like I was bouncing around. I don't really remember half the details of the event. And I think now, like coming down from that high, I would like do it differently. Like I would maybe just position myself next to the art,
Right.
and like let people come to me. But when I found myself doing that, it was like I'd get into a conversation. Next thing I know, I got to jump up on stage. I got to do the raffle. Dude, they wouldn't even let my wife in. They wouldn't let her in with the baby. I'm getting texts and phone calls while like I'm up on stage. I was actually doing an interview with the local news channel came out, which I got a bone to pick because they interviewed me for 15 minutes and then they took the most selfish clip from me.
They make you look so
bro,
selfish,
they were like they interviewed me for like 15 minutes talking about like all the money we're raising for charity, like all the like dope connections and things that I hope this builds in the city and all this stuff. And then the part they clipped out was me saying,
I want to paint. I work off of commissions, and so I had been doing that for a while, but I wanted to just do some paintings that I wanted to do.
and that was it. I was like, damn, dude, like,
Dang, you made me sound like I was that selfish.
yeah.
Like,
So, but yeah, in the midst of doing that interview, I'm getting a text and call from my wife. She's like, yeah, they won't let us in because my son was like 5 weeks old at the time. And they were like, yeah, no babies in the venue. And I had to go to the door, like get them in. Like, it was just like this. It was just like a whole thing.
hectic.
I was all over the place. So if you were there and I only got to talk to you for like 15 seconds, I apologize. Shoot me a DM. Give me a call. I'll talk to you.
Hey, man, listen, you did everything you could do,
was wild.
man. Like, you did a really good job. And I'd like to
Thanks.
thank the people who showed up, bro, also got the chance to see that, right, man? We were able to do things that I don't really know too many other people who are artists have the opportunity to do in the city, right? So, like, again, we had to go bringing positivity back to the city, and I think we did that.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
I think
that like your pitch, your elevator pitch of, why they should come. I think that was, we delivered on that. We provided some hope and just through your words and like just conversations that I had. I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me since then and said, dude, you inspired me to pick up a brush again or a pencil or whatever their medium is or make music. I mean, countless people have messaged me and said, dude, I've been following you and, whatever, but to see your event come to life and to see like the message you guys put out and what you're trying to do with it, like it's really inspired me to do this. So that's the purpose of this show, man. Like if we're just doing this to talk and, it doesn't really help anybody else, then, I mean, at the end of the day, why are we even doing this?
Right.
It's kind of my mentality. I don't know if that's
No, it makes sense.
kind of
though,
where
bro.
you're at too.
It definitely makes sense because at the end of the day, bro, if you're not helping somebody, you got one selfish ass dream, bro. And I'm just keeping it real, bro. There's people out there consistently who don't believe they can do what they sat out to do, bro. And it's like,
Yeah.
we were able to prove like anything that you want to do, bro, we're able to do. You're able to do. You can make it shake. You can make it happen.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that, you don't see, bro. Like, your talent is far more than what we actually understand. Because right now, we're living in the current moment, right? But there's people out there, like you said, who look up to what you just did. But in our heads, we're still chasing the mission. We're chasing the dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, sometimes we got to sit back and kind of realize the things that we've been able to do and some of the fruits of our labor, man. And
Yeah.
again, kudos to what you've been doing, bro. Like,
Thanks,
I was just
dude.
happy to be a part of such a great thing, bro. But on top of that, like, to be next to such inspirational art, bro, like, it looks so real. I genuinely thought you photoshopped it. I had a double take and was like, yo, like, this man really painted everything. It was tough, man.
Yeah.
It was tough.
We sold a couple of them, which, I mean, the goal for me wasn't to sell paintings.
Right.
The goal was to use them to get people in a room and talking and hanging out. But so it was a bonus. So shout out to the people that copped a few of the originals. I've sold a few prints, since the show. So if you guys are interested in those, I have a whole merch store set up for the hymn collection, which
You got to show first of all, you got to show the shirts, though, man.
I don't know if I could put it, I'll edit it in.
You
I'll
gotta
show
edit
it right
it.
here. I'll
Nah,
show you
nah,
like the
nah.
link and everything. I'll put it right here for you. You can see it on the screen.
Right there.
But yeah, so I mean, you could get like whatever your favorite painting is. I have like t-shirts set up with the exhibit logo on the side. If you just want like an exhibit t-shirt, this is a small little ad in the middle of our episode right now. You want one of the t-shirts, got the like plain exhibit t-shirt on the front, white, black options, hoodies, all that stuff. Go cop some merch because, pulling off an event like this, it is a big risk financially and just time wise. I've sacrificed time with my newborn at home to pull this off. So this isn't something I take lightly, and any form of support through buying merch and just even subscribing to this page and all
Right,
that
right.
really it makes it worth it for me because, you know, I have to, at the end of the day, put food on my table, you know, for my family. So I really appreciate the support. And those of you that showed up, bought a ticket, bought, you know, merch at the event, all that stuff, everybody who showed out, the room was like, just the energy in the room was just so positive. Like, yeah, it really was. It was chaotic, but at the same time, it just felt like this, like, it felt like there was like a buildup. Like people were like, man, I've been waiting for this, dude. Like I've never felt this in an event, a nightlife event in Pittsburgh. Right. You know, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to like hype up my own event again, but like,
but you're not wrong.
It was special, dude. It really was. And it'll hold a place in my heart for forever. Truly.
And I definitely think, bro, as we continue to grow, like there's more coming.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what does Deion Sanders say? We coming.
We coming.
We coming.
We're like the Colorado of the podcast right now. Like, people are counting us out. But we're getting transfers left and right, dude. We're building the team right now.
What Kendrick say? I love when they count me out. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I got a story to tell. So, shout out to Brian Hess. From Pavement Group, which we are now both working with. And, you know, we have some unique roles there, which... you know, I think they just shared yesterday, finally, that I am part of the team officially. And my role there is like a brand and content strategist. So, like, they've kind of been looking at what I've been doing with my own brand and growing that. And so I'm going to help the Pavement Group grow in that way. And we're, you know, morphing into this one team. Right. And so you guys will see all that branding and all of that come out. But shout out, the reason I bring up Brian Hess is because he's always getting on me about being late, and you are too. I was 10 minutes late for this recording today, 15 maybe.
Listen, that's the VC2 way.
But I'm trying, dude. I don't take pride in it. I actually don't. I feel genuinely awful every time I'm late, and it's definitely my worst thing about me. I mean, I think like when I show up, I show up.
You do show up.
You know, I'm there. I'm present, dude. You want to talk to me? I'm eyes locked. I'm in that conversation. I'm not in my
15 minutes late.
But dog, I'm late way too much. I need real help.
Time management skills.
Bro, yeah. I wake up earlier and earlier every day. Dude, I'll like set my alarm for 5 a.m. I'll wake up. I'll have like 4 hours before I have to leave. And then my brain tries to fill that as much as possible. So I'm like, let me start this shoe right now. And so I'll wake up at like 6 a.m., start knocking out like some, you know, stuff on a shoe, and I'll get into it so much, and I'm like, I'm halfway through this coat. I can't stop. So like I have to like finish this coat. I try to do too much. Right. It's not that I'm like lazy and I'm like, dude, I don't want to like, I don't care about your time, or like I'm trying to. I can't shut my brain off. If I'm awake, I'm either working or I'm doing something with my family. Like those are the two things.
Maybe you got to set multiple alarms for yourself, like, and then stay strict to like
Bro,
your own goals, man. Like,
I do that, and I don't listen. I hit those alarms pop up, and I go, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm not done with this coat. I have to finish this coat, or I have to finish this edit.
Vinny, get to work on time, dog. Hey, listen, I hear you.
Dude, there's an issue with me I'm learning, I think maybe right now, is that I have like an issue like ending things in the middle.
Yeah, like you want to finish it right.
Like I got to see things to completion all the time.
How do you ever show up on time?
Yeah, I do.
Did you show up on time when your kids were being born?
So, yes, we did a home birth.
Okay.
So I was at home.
Okay.
So I didn't have to go anywhere, else I probably would have been late. But no, dude, we did a home birth, and like I told you, I can't shut my brain off.
Right.
We were like, she started having contractions. We go to the chiropractor because like the chiropractor, you know, helps her get ready to, you know, go through a natural birth. It's like a crazy experience for a woman. So we went to the chiropractor as she started having her contractions that morning. We get back home, my dumbass, I'm like, well, I mean, I'm just going to go downstairs and paint for a little bit. Kind of like, let me know how this goes. Right. And then I'll come up here when you need me. Bro, she was like, what do you mean? You're going to go to like paint right now? And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I should not do that. Right. But like my brain was like, her contractions are about 15 minutes apart right now. So they're not that like I'm just sitting here for 15 minutes in between. Right. And I'm like, I got shit to do. But like, then I had to pause. I had to physically tell myself, bro, your wife is having a baby. Shut everything off. Right. I had to like actually like a mirror, like look at myself in the mirror and say like, this is all that matters right now.
Do you meditate?
No. Yeah. Well, I used to. I
Why'd you
used
stop?
to more like. I don't know. Maybe I should practice it more.
Because maybe that's why.
Because like when I hesitate like that, because like I pray a lot.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
like so you could look at prayer as
Right.
like a form of meditation.
Right.
I don't like sit still and just listen to my thoughts. I
Right.
mean, but sometimes in my prayers, that's what I do. Is
Right.
I'm not so much just saying to God what I want or like what I'm thankful for. I'm sometimes just listen.
Right.
But yeah, man, I don't know. What
Take time, bro.
you think that would help?
One thing I say is, man, silence is the best time for reflection. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if your brain is running rampant, you can't afford
Yeah.
to just be in a rampant space 24/7, 365. And
Yeah.
you got 2 young kids. You ain't got no older
Yeah.
kids where they can go and do their own thing. You got them crying.
Yeah.
You got one trying to get your attention. You need to give yourself some peace, man.
Bro, I just have this like clock in my head. You know, like women, like they always like what's my cousin Vinny, the old movie, and she's like, my biological clock is ticking.
It's
Like
ticking.
I have that mentality for like my dreams and ambitions because my dad passed away at 49.
Right.
So like I look at my life, I'm 31. If I live his life, I only got my math is awful, but was that 19 years? 18 years? So like I'm not saying I'm going to pass away at 49, but like I know that he had goals for like after he retired,
Right.
that he wanted to like get back into his creative passions and like have that drive and whatever, but he dialed that back hoping that he would get it later and he focused on this 9 to 5 as a construction worker, and, moved up within a company here in Pittsburgh, did really well, but he never got that opportunity later in life. So I think that's like this fire that was lit in me when I saw him get sick and eventually pass away, that I was like, damn, like my clock's ticking. Like I got all these visions and dreams and goals, and like the faster I can get some of these things, and I know that that's not healthy sometimes, but I can't help it. It's just,
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you what my coach told me. Slow down and speed up. Because once you slow down for a second, man, and you give yourself a time just to be like, okay, this is the real plan. If
Yeah.
I follow this plan, then it's going to work itself out.
yeah,
That's the structure that you got to put behind you, right? Because you're talented. Your talent is far beyond, you know what I'm saying, everybody that I know, right?
Yeah,
I got friends in
thanks.
different places, but you're very talented, man.
I agree. Thank you.
One thing's for sure, 2 things for certain, bro, is like, if you give yourself time, everybody else around you is going to be taken care of, right? Like,
Yeah.
The best you's better for everybody else, including me, including your wife
Yeah.
and everybody, bro.
Well,
So-
this job with the pavement group, this new position it's not really a job. It's just like it's a new step in like my career, and I'm really grateful for it. It's given me a lot more structure in my life.
Mhm.
This is the first time in a long time that I've had like a steady paycheck.
Yo, who you
And I
telling?
can't tell you, like, with having a newborn, I don't know what I would have done because it was so hard this time to get to the studio and paint.
Right.
So, I'm grateful financially for the position, and I think that it's going to, like, people have actually messaged me since that came out and been like, so does that mean you're done with painting and doing your own stuff? And I'm like, no, like, I don't understand why that would be your go-to.
Come
because,
on, now.
bro, it's just going to enhance everything I've been doing. Like,
Right.
like this old saying, like, when you get money, it just brings out who like a person really is. And bro, I've been just grinding with like really no financial backing, just trusting and going job by job, commission by commission, shoe by shoe to put food on the table. And now I have a little bit of security.
Right.
I'm just gonna keep doubling down on that stuff.
Right.
And you're gonna see more art, you're gonna see more creative things and collabs and shows and podcast episodes. There's more freedom in it. There's not less.
Right.
So
That means that somebody's coming soon, man. That means the real VC2 about to come out now. It's about to come out now. You built different.
I got
now.
some money in my pocket
Yeah, it's
now.
about to happen. Nah, I agree to that, man. I hate when people think that because you get a new job, you stop living your dreams, right? Like, the goal is to not only have one source of income, is to have multiple streams of income, right? And this is the building stone. You're getting help from somebody who's teaching you the game, but also allowing
Right.
you to follow your dreams.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that, again, shout out to B. Hest. I got to give him love for, man. He
Right.
allows us to follow our dreams within his company.
Yeah.
And that's not something
That's-
many companies do, man.
That's the only reason I said yes to the job was
100%.
because, I've been offered jobs over the 2 years that I've been, freelancing and just doing my own work. I did some video editing, and, was able to stop doing that so that I could focus more on this position. So I kind of swapped out some work I was contracted to do with this new job. So, it's like the time isn't going to like be less. It's actually now, it's a better position. And like you said, if it wasn't for Brian and like the vision he has for his company and the company in general and where we're going to take it, I wouldn't be working there.
Right.
I didn't need money.
Right.
I was happy, just working on commissions and doing paintings and whatever. It's stressful at times,
Right.
but I've learned to live uncomfortably. Like I think I thrive being uncomfortable. When I'm comfortable, I get kind of, like I told you, I can't shut my mind off.
Right.
So honestly, if I was just working a 9 to 5 at the payment group, I would probably have like a new business that I launched already. Like
Seriously though.
I just can't stop. So, I'm excited. I'm pumped to be part of that team. This podcast, I got some big goals.
Talk to me.
I think with the paintings, like I said, I sold a few of them. So we have a few left over they're all up on the website. Like I said, the prints and the originals. With the originals, if they sell, that's great. I'd like to find a home to display them in the meantime. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening and you know of like a local restaurant, brewery, sports bar, gallery, whatever you think would be a good fit for some of these paintings, I'm happy to display them. And if they sell, give a cut to, whoever's displaying them, whatever brewery or whatever that ends up being. But I also am open to like gifting these paintings to athletes and getting them on the show.
I know you heard it.
Yeah.
I know y'all heard it.
So I had some of these dudes in my DMs, dude, asking about these paintings. Just come on the podcast.
We'll pull up.
Man, I got you.
Pull up.
Let's do it.
Tell them, pull up.
Pull up, dude.
Come on. Hey, listen, those paintings, man, I can't even lie. Look, if you're in one of those paintings and your picture is on that piece of painting, bro, you better come grab it. Because if you don't, I will. Just like you know that right now. Because listen, some of these paintings, bro, like, you got a couple over there I was looking at. I was like, this was the
Those
beginning.
are from, I'll take a picture or put them in the edit. But, those are from when I lived in Charlotte. The NBA All-Star Game came to Charlotte. And there was a brewery there. Shout out to Salud Cerveceria, man. This brewery right across the street from the apartments I lived in Noda. And I just hit him up. I was like, I'd like to do an art show for the All-Star weekend. And it was like that was probably my first event, but it was nowhere near exhibit proportions. Like they literally I didn't pay for the space. They were just like, hey, bring us customers kind of thing, So I invited all my friends, people in Charlotte. And yeah, dude, that was a fun event, but that's what those paintings are from. Still got them.
So you're the master of all events, I see. Like, you go to different events, you do your different things, man.
I just like talking to people, dude. I just like meeting people. I just like connecting. That's it.
So what's the next event that we're going to do, man? I think the city's waiting on us, man. They seen the first one.
When's Exhibit 2?
Exhibit 2, man. Either Exhibit 2 or we got to do something different. I don't know. Exhibit 2 could be next year. Yeah. And we're doing something else, but I know we got some things coming here eventually.
I don't know. That's a good question. My mind is already, starting to turn on it, and I got some new people in mind that I want to like work with, artists that I'd like to highlight. I mean, the goal is not every exhibit to have, 20 paintings, weekly paintings of that. Like, you might come to the next exhibit and there might be a 40 by 40 foot canvas and that's the main piece. Like, maybe it's not. Maybe it's a musical event. Maybe there's artists in that way. Maybe there's, I want to do all forms of art through our events, and I want to highlight people that are doing great work, not only within our city, but great work within, our realm of sports and design and art, and then highlight those people because they're doing great things too.
So what if we become the group, right, that really brings a huge highlight to the other creatives in the city, like, because there's a lot of creatives in the city. We got my man Pittsburgh Flyover. He's behind the camera. You can't see him.
The recap video that he put together was fire. And so shout out to him. He shot that, edited that. The amount of content creators that were at the event was insane.
They just came out of nowhere.
But it made me feel good to know that I have my boy here holding it down for the recap video. And, shout out to Dylan Kickler for the photography. But yeah, I mean, content team was crazy.
Crazy, man. And it gets crazier and crazier because, again, it was something positive in the city, bro. And I can honestly say, bro, that's probably one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
So much so that they got me another MC job. So,
Really?
hey, yeah, man.
That's dope. Can you share it?
Yeah, so I can't share it just yet. I can't. But I'm going to privately to VC2. So see what we did, man. And
Wait, you can't share this? So I'm gonna have to cut this out.
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
So hey, but you know.
All right, hit me.
But the world can't know.
All right, I'll beep it out.
All right, cool. So, no, but having a gala here in October, and they want me to come in and MC and kind of hype the people up. And I kind of think like that's just what I enjoy, man. This is having fun with the people and enjoying people. So again, thank you for helping me.
Yeah, dude. That's the goal. If you come to one of these events and you leave and you're just like it's on you. Like there's so much opportunity in that room for collaboration, for David Allen was there. He's going to come on the podcast here in the future. I mean, just the amount of people that were just in that room that genuinely just want to work together and do cool things while we're here on this earth, man. Like it's really inspiring. So
I feel like we're gonna have our hand in changing the city, man. The whole world's in shambles in some type of shape or form, right?
Yeah.
This constant negativity is sitting at our hands, bro. But I genuinely think we're gonna have a part in changing that. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to be on this journey with you, not only in work that we do, but in future work that we plan on doing, man. Like again, you're very talented, man, and I like to think that I also have different skills that I could also help you with as well, man. So I'm looking forward to future anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a good time.
I think we should do a spotlight on you too. So maybe have you on again. And I'd love to tell your story too, because we've been talking the last 2 episodes about, and we are going to bring on more guests here, in the future. But I really want to just, I want to highlight you because I think your story is insane.
I appreciate that, man.
So would love to maybe wrap this one up and have you back to talk about your story and, what brought you to this point in your life where you're at now.
100%, man. I'm down for it. You let me know when you need me, and we'll get after it.
What anything else that we need to cover or like shout out? I mean, I know we had like some incredible sponsors from the event, and we shouted them out on social media.
Let me shout them out again. Chris Bickle,
yeah,
appreciate you, my dog. You came in a time that we needed you. You came in clutch, Kobe moment,
For real.
Mamba moment. You definitely did your thing. Clipper Oil.
Yep.
Thank you to Sandy Myers, man. She did her thing and helped us out. Who we got? Iron City, Red Bull.
Yeah, so Iron City and the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Pittsburgh Penguins all donated stuff to be raffled off, and all those proceeds went to Steel City Impact. So thank you to those brands. Primanti's donated food to feed our team. They came through with all kinds of shit, like pizzas, sandwiches. So shout out to them. Shout out to Frank Bryan Concrete.
Yes.
They were also a sponsor of the event. Very grateful for them. Pavement Group, obviously.
You gotta shout them
booking the whole venue wouldn't have been possible without Brian and the Pavement Group and the staff there that makes the Pavement Group work on a day-to-day basis. I've been there now. I see the work. It's not easy work. It's very time sensitive work. So there's a lot of things they do on a daily basis that I have a real respect for from seeing it firsthand. So thank you to them for making the Pavement Group such a success to the point where we get to do great things and shine light on great people like we are doing. I don't know if I'm missing out on any other sponsors. Creatives Drink helped us out by sponsoring some of the drinks. But yeah, dude, I mean, what do we do here? What's the end?
I mean, we do got some exciting news, but I think we should wait for the exciting news.
Yeah? Teasing it out?
I think I'm teasing. I ain't gonna tease too much, you know what I mean?
All right.
Tease too much, things get a little bit too excited, so I'm gonna chill a little bit. But it's gonna be a good time, man. We got some cool things coming. That's all we can really say right now.
All right, I think we should end this like we did the last one. Elevator pitch. Why should they listen to this episode?
You should listen to this episode, man, because we're creatives and we're the different types of creatives, man. We want to see change in the community. We want to see change in the city. So if you're somebody who genuinely believes in positivity, get your mind right, because here it comes.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Boom.
Boom.